You know, people really love San Francisco Bay. They love it so much that they're willing to tax themselves for it.
So the San Francisco Bay, it's really a critical resource to all of us. It's central to our economy, to our identity, and to our wildlife.
People don't realize that the magic of the bay really lies in its wetlands and its marshes.
The wetlands, in addition to being the habitat of many indigenous species, are also an important flood protection for the people living across the bay.
Sea level rise it really poses a new, massive, and inevitable threat to the San Francisco Bay. How and how soon we respond to it is going to have lasting impacts on every one of us.
Every time that the Ocean Protection Council puts out a prediction about sea level rise, it's worse than the previous one.
It's urgent that we act now because we do have a shallow water ecosystem, and that is very vulnerable. If it gets flooded and dies, that's it.
How and how soon we respond is going to have lasting impacts.
And it's clear that we only have a few decades.
If we lose it, it's gone forever.
We're really excited at the Loma Prieta chapter because we got a great request from a longtime chapter supporter that is really allowing us to seize the moment. So we've launched a Bay-wide campaign that we're calling San Francisco Bay Alive to really build an all-hands-on-deck approach, collaborating with all three Sierra Club chapters that surround the entire bay. We're also working with local communities to lift up voices, local voices, educate and mobilize them around these same issues with a particular focus on building relationships with community-based organizations and marginalized communities.
One of the first things we did with Bay Alive was to plan this informational webinar. We wanted to establish the Sierra Club as an entity that was important in the issue of sea level rise.
All sorts of Bay experts, scientists, regulators, elected officials.
To reach out to every single town, every single city, every single county around the Bay, every city council member, planning commissioner, city manager, public works director, parks manager, and invite them to this webinar. And we got a lot of interest. More than 350 people signed up.
An early career there, and as you can imagine, there are quite...
So we're actually using those webinars in our Bay Advocacy Program classes.
The Bay Advocacy Program helps educate and engage people in learning about the Bay and threats to the Bay. In the program this year, there'll be 10 Zoom meetings and 3 site visits. It includes information about the habitat and ecosystems of the Bay, also about how the Bay should adapt to sea level rise to keep the ecosystems alive.
The presenters for the Bay Advocacy Program I found to be both very knowledgeable, very hopeful, very good at helping us pinpoint and define exactly how to be most effective on a particular issue.
It's also an opportunity to bond with like-minded people and create a community that cares about the same things.
To this day, developers are rushing to build offices and housing along the edge of the bay.
We're monitoring local planning and decision-making to identify opportunities to build in nature-based solutions.
And as sea levels rise, if people put up levees all around the bay, we'll end up with a bathtub, not a bay.
We hope you'll join us in this effort. There are 3 specific things you can do right away.
On behalf of Bay Alive, I'm asking you to volunteer, donate, or advocate in your community.